Okay, good evening. And another welcome to another evening of your favorite sports program, Sports Rap. My name is Lockett Sebastian, and together with me is
Emmanuel Loblack from the Tri-State.
and
Thompson Fontaine.
yes, Ronald Land hasn't arrived yet. I guess he'll soon be here. And for the next 2 hours, it's going to be an entertaining evening, I can tell you that. We have a lot of sports. We're going to have the president of the Athletics Association, Brendan Williams, will join us at 6:30. We'll also be joined by make contact with Ronald Charles, Cycling Association. We also have Abby Lawrence of the Football Association, Donnie Robinson of basketball as well. And as you know, we have the Under-19 tournament going on in Dominica. We'll be joined by Mervyn Thomas, the coach of the Dominica team. We also will be talking about Windward Islands. Windward Islands, after making a big comeback, have found themselves in a spot of bother, losing 7 wickets batting in the second innings. Now 165 for 7. They're only leading by 169. So hopefully they can add on another 50 runs tomorrow and win that game tomorrow. So yes, so tonight we have an entertaining night for you tonight. And also tonight, we are joined by the CEO of Q95, Mr. Sheridan Gregoire. Good night, sir.
Good night, see what are you doing?
I'm very good, and we have Thompson Lobby there, and Ronald hasn't arrived yet.
I can see Thompson, I can see Lobby. How are you guys doing?
Fine, we're fine.
Doing well.
Praise God, I'm doing fine.
Good to see you, Lobby.
Likewise myself.
Okay. Well, Mr. G, we didn't bring you here to talk about the amount of shrimps you're going to be eating tomorrow and steak and lobster while we eat tikuliu and balau. So we're not going to be talking about that. So let's get right to it, Mr. G. I think you have to. There were some stuff has occurred where there have been misrepresentation of the facts, and up to last weekend, probably on social media, a lot of stuff around the place. And I think you want to put the facts right, and that is the reason why you have joined us on Sports Rap for a short while tonight. So it's over to you, Mr. G.
Well, the first thing I want to correct is that I wish I could get the little tikuliu and all that kind of thing there, because where do I get that from? I get all kind of fish, but I don't get the little tikuliu and so on, and the kai. I wish I could.
Well, there's plenty tikuliu around now, I can tell you that. Plenty of them.
What about titiwi?
Titiwi as well. You have balau, vola, it's a lot of and makwi as well too. Makwi as well. So a lot of stuff around the place now, I can tell you.
So I'm missing out.
Yes.
All right. So Sibo, thank you for inviting me tonight and give me a few moments just to try to clarify a couple of things. I don't think it's a really huge deal, really. It's just that what I want to say is this, that every family has issues or misunderstandings from time to time. The Q family is no different, but sometimes, outsiders, sometimes people who don't like Q, they might interfere and put some mud in the waters for their own reasons. But however, as far as I'm concerned, this matter pertaining to Aussie is a non-issue, because Aussie continues to be an integral part of the Sports Rap team, unless and until he himself decides otherwise. So I hope that everybody's clear on what we are saying, that as far as we're concerned, Aussie is an integral part of the Q95 Sports Rap team. Okay? So I don't leave any doubt about that. Now, Aussie will be in the show online, just like Emmanuel Loblack is right now, just like Dr. Thompson Fontaine is right now. I am online right now. Dr. Simone Matthew, she does a show online. Dr. Thompson Fontaine does his show online. You're right. So the point is, this is the simple modern technology that we're using. It's normally used on all media houses every day, all day long. So unless Aussie decides, he himself decides or determines otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, he continues to be a cherished, integral part of the Sports Wrap team. So I'm putting that to bed right now. Now, Sibo, you might remember when I broached the idea of starting the Sports Wrap show. You might recall that. And I see Ronald has joined us now. Ronald, how are you doing? So you might remember that, Sibo, because I spoke to you, I spoke to Ozzy, I spoke to one of the gentlemen who I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know if you would like his name mentioned here. But what I can recall is that both yourself and Ozzy said, hey, let's do it. This other gentleman said he had to think about it, and later on he said he was not able to make it, probably for good reason. I'm not going to try to figure out why he didn't do it. But when the show got started, I think shortly after that, Ozzy was joined by Giselle Francis, and maybe Lobi. And then I think at that time, Sibo, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think you may have gone out on a trip, and when you came back, you joined. Your mic is off. They need to. Somebody need to turn on your mic.
Your mic is off.
You need to. Whoever is on console, tell them to turn on your mic.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Right now.
Right. What I said, at the time, I was the manager of the Windward Islands team, so most of them I would be out. So Lobi was holding on at the time, and then Lobi became a permanent member of the team.
Well, that's correct. So that is how the show actually got started, right? Now, we have always and will always appreciate Ozzy, and I'm talking about Ozzy tonight as a member of the Q family. Are you hearing me, Sibo?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you very well. Everything is good now.
Right.
So I'm saying that we always have, and we always will appreciate Ozzy as a renowned sportsman, as a radio personality, and a radio commentator, and we certainly express our great appreciation to him in a very meaningful way. I think it was on Monday, 12th of April, 2021, when our Kudos or Heroes Committee embraced, honored, and awarded Ozzy as a national hero. So we literally gave him his flowers while he's alive. If someone knows any other organization or radio station that has recognized, appreciated, and embraced Ozzy as much or more than Q95, they can let us know. I'm not sure I know of any other one. So we do appreciate Ozzy. Now, Ozzy is not, contrary to what some people, I'm hearing comments about, he sent a letter to Ozzy, it was in bold type and all that. What is that? That's a non-issue, because I send some things in bold type all the time. Why? In caps all the time. Why? Because, not everybody sees things very well. Sometimes I find it a lot better for me. I don't like to wear glasses. When I get something in caps, I'm very happy. Sometimes when I send stuff to my news people, for example, I put it in caps if it's not too long. It's so much easier to read that. So that's the only reason, nothing else. So the point is, Ozzy is not really an employee of Q95. As you know, we operate within an agreement with Q95 as regards Sports Wrap, in which the proceeds of sponsorship and advertising related to the show are shared in an agreed basis, right? We have an agreement on that. So Q95 has honored that agreement from day one to date. I mean, Sibo, in fact, you have been collecting the proceeds every month and sharing his proceeds with the rest of the team.
Yeah, correct.
Yes. So, I mean, this is what we do. So the really and truly, I mean, the matter is very simple. The undisputed fact is that, in his own words, Ozzy said he was not well. He told everybody. And he was unable to come to the studio from sometime in October 23, I believe. Sibo, you can correct me on the date.
Somewhere around there, somewhere around October.
Sometime in March 23.
Yes.
That was about 4 or 5 months or so.
March 21st, I think. March 21st.
March 21st, okay. So Ozzy also had to travel overseas sometime to see about his wife. I think he went, his wife had to get some treatment. And I believe he had to. So those times, of course, all of those times, Sibo, you are.
Well, Ronald came when he had gone with his wife. Ronald had joined me for some time. Right, Ronald joined me.
Exactly. So the point is that what we're trying to do now, we understand Ozzy has a health situation. So we're trying our best to accommodate that, right? and to ensure that he really can be able to participate as easily as possible from the comfort of his home, right? To ease any pressure on him. That is the purpose of what we're doing. Anyway, I mean, during the many months that Ozzy was not well or unable to participate in the Sports Rap show, Lockhart, you were the main host of the show for all of those periods. And your co-host Ronald and Emmanuel Low Black and Thompson and all played their part and contributed in a meaningful manner. Yeah. You know, as members of the Sports Rap team, because what we have is a team. And the show went on, especially with increased focus on a wide range of local and regional sports. It's important that to know that that was definitely increased under your watch. In fact, Sibo has been producing the show to a great extent in that he himself and Ronald have been the ones who are securing the local and regional guests for some time. Of course, with the assistance of Lobby, wherever possible, since Lobby is really out of state. So in the circumstances and in consideration of Ozzy's health, I had to take a decision to ensure that the show would continue. As I'm sure the legions of Sports Rap fans, because Sports Rap has a lot of fans. It's difficult to say who are Ozzy's fans and who are Sibo's fans and who are Ronald's fans and who are Lobby's fans. I mean, who are Dr. Thompson Fountain's fans. We know just a lot of people, the whole Q family listen to Sports Rap. So we have a lot of people listening. So happy. And what I'm saying is that I'm pretty sure that all these people would want the show to continue. And we all know that we get regular feedback from our Q family listeners in Dominica, in the region and globally, that Sibo, in fact, brings some special extra spice into the first 30 minutes of the Sports Rap show every Thursday. So, however, the point I'm making is that no one invites sickness onto themselves, but it happens to the best and to the strongest of us. Yep. None of us are invincible.
Yep.
So, right? So, in fact, Ozzy stated on the Sports Rap show on 21st March, publicly, when he came back from his illness, that he receives dialysis at the hospital. All right. And we regret that is the case, and we feel for Ozzy and his family, because these things can be difficult. You know, when you're doing those things, other things go along with that, you know, that you have to do to help the health situation, and there are costs attached to that, right? Okay. So what I want to say on that is that some of the people who are outside of the Q family, who may not like you, are saying all kind of things and encouraging Ozzy to, but none of them are really saying anything about helping him to meet his expenses, his medicals. All right, so let's use a hypothetical case here, Sibo. You're a fella that's young and strong, and vibrant and energy. But if one day you are past 80 and you're unable to drive yourself and you are faced with the challenge of walking up the many steps at Q95, if you have the challenge of liver failure, for example, all right, and you have to undergo dialysis, how many times a week in a hospital, I'm not sure. And then having to come to the studio afterwards and have to walk up those many stairs to the studio. I'm sure that would likely take some effort and energy.
It would take its toll. It can be very taxing.
Obviously.
It
will take a toll on you. That's the point. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, so really and truly, I mean, would you, Sibo, be happy if we were to be to accommodate you in some way that you can do it from home?
There's no issue with that. I like I said, as you said, and I'm sure Thompson, Lobby, Ronald, everybody agree. We will do the best to accommodate Ozzy. Anything to accommodate him, we'll do it.
Exactly. We'll do it. Which is what we're doing right now. Thompson's online, Lobby's online, I'm online, and so it's just something normal that we're doing. So that is basically, we all will be happy to do as much as we can. So we entered into Ozzy's consideration and accommodated him to operate online from home with the use of simple modern technology, just as is being done right now. So I'm sure that we would welcome some callers' questions for just a minute, Sibo.
We'll open the line for a few minutes, but before we take the line, I'm sure you'll agree Ozzy has been a valued contributor to the program and will continue to be a valued contributor to Sports Rap. I'm sure you'll agree, and Lobby will agree, and Thompson will agree, and Ronald, everybody will agree. Ozzy has been an outstanding contributor to the Sports Rap and will continue to be.
Not only that, but we want him to continue to be. Mm-hmm. Remember, In fact, this afternoon we ran the whole program from about 1 o'clock to about 3 o'clock when we honored and appreciated and awarded Ozzy. Why? Because we appreciate and honor Ozzy. We have great respect for him. I made those remarks myself. So, I mean, nothing has changed. We feel the same way about Ozzy, and we just want to assure him and everybody else who's listening in the Q family.
I will take a couple of calls now. Callers can call. Mr. G is there to take your calls.
Right.
So we'll take a couple of calls now.
Okay.
Because we have important business to discuss after. So we'll take a couple of calls. Callers, you're free to call whatever you want to call. Yeah. So any comments from you guys? Thompson, Lobby, any comments about what Mr. G said?
I think, Sebastian, Mr. G has put it, has said it how it should be said. And I think the most important thing is this: he's still a member, part of the family. Nothing, was done to Ozzy, and I think we went into his consideration, into his health matter, and that is the way forward in technology, and be comfortable. Yeah.
Hold on, Lobby. We have a call already. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Hi, how you doing, man? What's up?
And good evening, Low Black, and good evening, Mr. G.
Good evening. Good evening, my brother.
Yes.
And Dr. Fontaine is there as well. Yeah. Go on.
Mr. Ozzy Lewis has done tremendous work for the citizens of Dominica, whether it is in sports or in the government or as a magistrate. He has done his share. And Mr. G, I have to comment to you, because I always say, give people their flowers while they're alive. Don't wait when you're in a box. You can't say nothing. You have to say something about the man. Say it now. Let him say what he has to say. And not when we go in church and you go on up a pulpit and talk. I won't say nonsense. But give the man his flowers while he's alive. He's alive. Let him talk. Thank you very much.
Cool. We have another caller. Thank you.
I
Mr.
agree.
Good evening. Hello.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, I'm calling from way over yonder. I listened to the introductory thing on the topic of Ozzy. I just want to give my little input.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there should be any bad blood with anybody just jumping to conclusions and speculating. I totally understand what Mr. G explained. My contention is, from the old school training I received in the 50s and 60s, I do not know how that letter became public. I'm not going to delve on this. But the most important part I want to ask Mr. G. Mr. G, did you personally approach the senior elder, Mr. Ozzy, Honorable Ozzy, and tell him of your intentions to write in that letter? Just have a little man-to-man talk now. Say, hey, Ozzy, I want to write that letter, something to that kind of effect. Like, just forget the whole professional way of going about things and become the human courtesy way of doing things. Did you personally, first of all, before that letter became public, did you approach Ozzy, call him and discuss with him and let him know all what you said about all what you mentioned about your reason for the letter? If it's dialectal, did you discuss all that with Ozzy before that letter became public, sir? Thank you, guys. For sure, as usual. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right. The answer to that question is no. And I'll tell you why. The problem I've been having communicating with Ozzy sometimes, and Sibo can tell you, Sherwin can tell you, I'm not sure. I know there's a landline, but I don't know about a phone number for him. I've been trying to get for a long time. I haven't been able to get it. Even an email address, I haven't been able to get. So most of the time when Sibo was going, I'd say, Sibo, say hello for me, make an inquiry for me. Send Sherwin, our technician, over to Ozzy's house a couple of times if I need to get something done. So the concert, I have to tell you honestly, I didn't get a chance to discuss that with him. But the reason why I didn't think it was a big deal is because really we have a team. And remember that Sibo, for how many months now, in fact, has been hosting. So it's not a matter if that Ozzy has to be the main host all the time, because for months Sibo was the main host. And if Ozzy, for example, had whatever facilities that he had, we could have given him the link, just I have now, just like Thompson has. It just so he could have, while he's not there, he could have been home participating while Sibo was hosting. So really, it is not anything we're trying to insult Ozzy. Because you know, we really appreciate him. You heard the whole program that we did about him, and as Teacher Luther said, we gave him his flowers. So it's not that we meant to disrespect him or anything like that.
We have another caller. Let's go. Good evening. Good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Mr. G, I'm sure you already heard me for the past years. After the sports wrap, the sport gone dead until another Thursday. And I've been begging you for years to put a sport news after in the morning or whatever time. You know, and I've been begging for years, and I'm begging you for the final time. As I tell you, the sport going dead after tonight until next Thursday. And we listen into the news in the morning, in the afternoon, and after 5. So we need a sport news, okay, to keep sports alive.
Well, caller, I know you always say that, eh? Good. Another caller. The next caller. Good evening.
I remember that, yeah.
Good evening.
Yes, Sibo. Good evening to you.
Yeah, how are you? Good evening.
I have a question for Mr. G on the same issue of his letter. And I wish to ask Mr. G whether he think it was appropriate to really include health. Asking, we know Mr. Ozzy could really carry his broadcast from home, but whether he think it was appropriate at the time of writing to include health. According to what I read, it said according to your health concerns or something of that sort. Was it appropriate to include that, Mr. G, in your letter, that his health concerns when you had no indication about his health or his record of health?
How do you know that I had no indication of his record of health?
True.
How would you know if that I had? Didn't you hear Ozzy himself say on the air that he had some health issues? Are you not aware that Ozzy was off the air for a few months, seeing about his health? I said all that earlier. I'm not sure. Now, this is another letter that we published. You know, this is a letter that was sent to Ozzy. And I was saying to him, in consideration of those issues, that I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This letter was not meant for the public. I don't know who published it, but it was really not meant. The long and short of this is that what I think we're all saying, we have a team here. It's not one person. We have a team. And what we are all saying, as far as we're concerned, we continue to embrace, we cherish Ozzy as an integral part of sports rap. No matter all those issues and so on, that is the point we're making. As long as Ozzy wants to be in this team, Ozzy is in this team.
Next caller. Thank you, Mr. G. Next caller. We have a number of calls. Yeah. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to give. Hi, good evening.
Yeah.
So I just want to give some, make some comments on really the issue.
Right.
So first of all, I just think that sometimes we err, and it takes grown people to admit, you know, maybe that wasn't the best way to go about it. And instead of going around in circles, just say, you know what, I apologize. I'm sorry. Maybe that wasn't the best way to do it, and let's move on. I mean, like, we make mistakes sometimes. He wasn't pleased. He was hurt by the way the letter was sent to him. So addressing his feelings, just apologize, I'm sorry, and let's move on.
Thank you, caller. Next caller. Thank you. Next one. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, Sibo.
Hey, good evening. How you doing, man?
With you again.
Well, Dr. Fountain is there, Ronald Lander is there, Lambert Charles is there, Mr. G is there, Lobby is there.
And Lobby, okay? Let me tell you something. I hear some people making some comments into what they about the whatsoever letter Mr. G write to Ozzy. But I'm full support because Ozzy is my people. But the way I balance in the thing, and I give in Mr. G support. The same set of people that on the other side of the is running their mouth. If Ozzy going up that step, because I already go there and make business, number one, first thing that to put in, the landing on the step is very narrow. The landing when you're going upstairs, it's narrow. Going up the step is narrow. If Ozzy will be going up there, and something I'm not saying, and you know, first thing they would have said, Mr. G, know Ozzy was well, and they allow him to come up the step and look at where he hurt itself. That is the first thing they're going to say. You understand what I say, Sibo? So that, and that aspect, I support myself. Because some people just sing in letter and say the letter is bad in their taste because it's in their own domain. But what I watch in there, Mr. G talking on the behalf and the help of Mr. Young, Mr.
Yeah, Ozzy.
You understand?
Yeah. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next caller. Thank you.
As you take
Hold on, Nobby.
All right.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. I just wanted to ask Mr. Sheridan a question. I'm squeaking. I don't want to ask a question, but I really want to ask. I mean, if somebody's working for you or working with your Q95 family, as you say, for this amount of time, is it safe to say that Mr. Ozzy was ignoring you? I mean, we have WhatsApp, you have email. You couldn't get in touch with him on any of these mediums. Like, if my boss doesn't have my phone number, he doesn't have my email, I would take that a little personal. I mean, my boss should have a means of contacting me at some point in time. I mean, he's worked for all this time, and as far as he said, he gave all this work free burner, so to speak. So at least you should have his phone number, WhatsApp, email. I just find it a little hard. The only thing I can come to the conclusion that Mr. Luis was avoiding you completely. That's the only excuse I can think of. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. G, you want to comment?
Yeah, let me just make two comments. First of all, one of the callers asked about, look, I'm big enough, C-Boy, as you know. If something happens and somebody's not pleased or something, I'm big enough to apologize and say, sorry. If Ozzy didn't take this thing well, I would like to say to him, I apologize for that. You understand? That is what you do. If you have to be big enough to say to try to pass things on. So I really don't want to do anything to hurt Ozzy. We appreciate Ozzy too much. Secondly, as I said a little earlier, maybe the caller didn't hear me. I don't know that Ozzy has. I'm not sure that Ozzy has WhatsApp. See, I don't know whether you can tell.
No, he doesn't have WhatsApp. That's because you see, as you say that caused a problem, because when I had gone to Barbados, as I said, I understood Ozzy said I didn't call him, but as I said, Ozzy doesn't have WhatsApp. He doesn't have WhatsApp, and that is a fact.
And also, I tried to get an email address for him, but Sherwin told me he said he would let him know what it was, but I don't think we have it. So it's not any major thing. It's just that we don't have it. That's I don't want to try to interfere in Ozzy's business too much, but I'm not aware that he has WhatsApp.
Yeah, next caller. We have another caller. Yes. Good evening. Hello.
Yes, Sibo, I got disconnected a few minutes ago, but I wanted to, I'm still at Mr. G here, and I hope he's still there. I wanted to ask Mr. G on behalf of Mr. Ozzy, who I love very much. Mr. G, are you willing to apologize to Mr. Ozzy Luis? I heard one caller ask for that before, because your letter was a little bit distasteful to him.
But hold on, caller. Hold on.
He was not happy about it. Are you willing to apologize?
Ask the caller to hold on, please.
Hold on. Let Mr. G respond. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you got disconnected or something, but I just apologized there. I just responded to the lady, and I said if I have done anything or hurt any or in any way, apologize for it. I'm not sure whether you heard that.
Okay, caller, you heard that?
I didn't quite hear it, Mr. G, and I appreciate that, because I really think that Mr. Ozzy took this letter a little bit hard, and according to his response, and I'm sure most of us would be asking you to apologize, which I appreciate you do on behalf of Mr. Luis.
Thank you. Next caller, please. Good. And we have to speed up, gentlemen, because we have our first guest in the house, so we have to another 5 minutes. Good evening. Good evening.
Mr. Sebastian, good morning. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Is that Loftus Jura? That you?
Yes, that's Loftus Jura.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, sir, and to your panelists you have done this Sports Rap program, which is a program that I always listen to.
Right, Loftus.
I'm listening to the conversation there, and first and foremost of the bat, let me say, because I listened to Sheridan Gregor, let me say thank you to Sheridan Gregor for at least being man enough to apologize to Mr. Luis, Ozzy Luis, that is, for the tone of the letter that he wrote to Mr. Luis, which Mr. Luis said in his response was sort of authoritarianism in nature. He did not take it very, very lightly. And so on that, I want to thank him. He mentioned about, the health reason, and some persons asked him. I heard his response on that as well. He also mentioned as well, or answered, why he did not discuss or calling or having some engagement with Mr. Lewis re his health before issuing that letter. I heard his response. My question to Mr. Gregoire tonight, in terms of trying to, settle that matter as well, does he know of any internal wrangling that may have caused him to write that letter to Mr. Lewis as it pertains to Ozzie Lewis being the host of the program? That's my question. Thank you.
Mr. G, you want to answer that? Respond to that?
I'm not aware of any internal wranglings.
Okay. Next caller. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Sibo.
Hey, how are you, man? I haven't heard you for a long time.
Yes, but I'll tell you, I still listen every Thursday.
I know that, man.
Yeah, I never missed an episode. And I want to say to Mr. G that I am very proud of him, because it takes a real man, if he feels, a little aggrieved about something, he could come up and say, well, I'm sorry. And now that Mr. G have said that, I am ready to give him Holy Communion. Yeah. So I hope my friend Ozzie will share in the Holy Communion too, and hope we can continue to hear that nice voice of Ozzie Lewis. A bit remote, but it coming just as good. Because look at Thompson Fontaine, he's all the way in the South Sudan. And if you're not watching, you would believe he's in studio.
Exactly.
So
Lobby's all the way in Jersey.
Oh, Lobby, yes. Look at Lobby. Lobby is out and we can hear him. So, gentlemen, I have offered communion. So let us get rolling and let's continue with the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. We're going to take 2 more calls and then we're done with that. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Sebastian.
Hey.
Sinclair Mitchell here.
Hey, Sinclair, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Hey, Mr. G, how are you?
Well, not too bad at all.
Listen, I wanted to add a little to just to contribute a little to what is going on here. Obviously, I'm not apprised of everything, but I don't think that the discussion that is going on is necessary about who shot John and who's wrong and who's right. I think Mr. G and Mr. Lewis should get together, have lunch, and discuss things. Whoever needs to apologize, they can do that in private, and then make a joint statement that they're in agreement with whatever decision has been made. To me, the issue here at hand should be, what can we do to help this man? Can we get him a dialysis unit that he can have at home? Can the radio station launch a fundraiser to help him to get a unit, to have some medical people serve in somewhat of a committee? Because he has contributed a lot to sports and to other things in Dominica. I listen to the program every Thursday. I know I don't call, but and I've been just edified and enlightened through you guys, your knowledge of what is going on in the sports world. And you are my only link to maybe cricket, because I don't necessarily have the time here in the States to watch it. So can we elevate the discussion to coming up with some kind of a program to do a fundraiser to get him maybe a dialysis unit that he can use at home, because there are those kinds of units.
Would you be prepared to assist in that, Sinclair? Would you be prepared? Would you be prepared to assist in that?
I would absolutely be willing to serve on a committee that would look into it.
Okay.
And I would absolutely make a contribution towards the purchasing of a home unit. And if there are medical people who are part of that committee, they could make sure that the equipment stays up to date with the cleaning and all of that has to be done. I think, to me, that would be a good way to show our appreciation for Mr. Lewis. And
thank you very much.
I'd absolutely be willing to serve on a committee like that. And like I said, but it would be good to have maybe a nurse practitioner or a doctor would be willing to be a part of that committee with the radio station.
Thank you, my brother.
I
Thank you.
personally would make a contribution towards it. And to me, let's move on from who shot John. Mr. G is good man. And I don't think that he's going to be willfully malicious towards anyone.
Thank
and
you.
to try to look for mistakes that people have made and all of that stuff, and for the apology on the radio, let he and Mr. Lewis get together and discuss it.
Thank you, man.
And
Thank
then
you very
let them
much.
Issue a statement to the public and say, look, we have ironed out things and so on, and let's move on.
Thank you.
Let's try to help this man with his dialysis.
Okay, thank you. We're going to take one more call. All the lights are going, but we're taking one final call, Mr. G, for you. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Steve.
Hey, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, man, big up,
Quickly,
I'm
last
happy you
caller.
had to take my call. I just want to, let my partner in Portsmouth that I'll be willing to carry the plate for him to administer the Holy Communion. Let's move on. We're moving on. We're
All
moving.
right. Okay. Right.
Yes, right.
Okay. Mr. G, final comment from you, because all the lights are going. We have our first guest
Yeah,
in the
I know,
house.
I know. Let me just say very quickly, Sibo, that I think I want to thank Sinclair for that, and I'll be happy to have a word with him to discuss it. Because you see, as I said before, a lot of people are not part of the Pure family. Some of them don't like U95. In fact, some of them don't really
Correct. That's correct.
give the opportunity to come and say a lot of things, put wood in the mud in the water. What I think we should focus on, if we can, is to provide as much assistance to us as we can in the circumstances. Let's not pretend that he's not ill. Let's try to assist. So Sinclair is on the right track. It's not just if he can find a way to get a machine. We can put a committee together, but we can also do a radiothon, because not just a machine he needs. I mean, what comes along, all of us get sick,
We will get sick at some point. Everybody. We all will get sick at some
And we
point.
all need to say, very often, Matt does radiothons for people that we don't even know, and to help them to get medical attention. We'll be very happy to do that for Ozzy. I mean, if Ozzy would say yes, I'll be very happy. And even if he doesn't say yes, I don't know if we can go ahead and do it without his consent.
By the way, Mr. G, just one thing. Heavy Shillingford, I want to see him. His birthday was 89 on Monday. I want to visit him. He's still struggling a bit, but Heavis is okay, and he's an outstanding Dominican. And as I said, we have to look after the elderly, and Heavis himself is going through the struggles, and he's okay. He was 89 on Monday. I spent some time, I think, in Ronald's godfather, by the way. Go on, Mr. G.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go on.
But in addition to that, and to the machine, there's stuff that goes along with illnesses, right? You have to buy tablets, sometimes you have to take injections.
The medications, the whole thing,
Right,
the whole works.
it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So if those people who are making all these distractions would say, listen, why don't we get together and let's see what we can do to assist. All right. So let us say I'm going to talk to Matt tomorrow, and we'll see what can be done. Then we'll get in touch with people like Sinclair. Once Ozzy wants us to go ahead with it, we'll go ahead with it. Because really what we want is for Ozzy to just be a part of the team so we can continue doing the good work that he's been doing.
Thank you, Mr. G, and I hope we have put everything to rest. Let people out there know that Q95 is fully in support of Ozzy. We know he's going through his struggles. We fully appreciate him. He's still a member of the Sports Rap crew. We hope he gets well. Well, I myself, I've done all what I could while they haven't been well, both here and UC. So we're hoping that everybody out there, all these people who had everything else to say, let us put that to rest. So let me say, Mr. G, thank you very much for joining us, and we appreciate you.
Well, one more thing, I have to find a way to facilitate Corbett if that is lost. Holy Communion or lost tea, said.
Well, he said, part is a Catholic, so he'll probably bring lost tea for you. Lost tea. Because a lot of people use lost tea to do all sorts of things, So I hope you don't do that, Mr. G.
Thanks a lot. Let's all wish Ozzy well, and I hope that we can get
What's that, Mr. G?
I say thanks a lot, and let's all wish Ozzy well, and I hope we can get together with Ozzy and get this thing sorted out so we can move on.
Yeah, man. Let's make our first break. Thank you, Mr. G. Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
All right, nice, Thompson and Lobby. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items. like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Yes. I think that Mr. G adequately dealt with the matter. I had a few comments to make, but I think Mr. G adequately and properly dealt with the matter. And let's move forward. Let's see how we could work together and continue getting this program going. I understand that Ozzy was on Facebook Live with Loftus Durant, so that's something we can explore. We can continue working with us from his home with no problem with that.
Okay, thank you, Ronald. Now we are joined by Mr. Brendan Williams, the president of the Dominica Athletics Association. He was recently in Grenada with part of the Dominican contingent. They were there. I think we got 1 bronze medal. And Mr. Williams, let me welcome you first time to Sports Wrap, right?
Yeah, that's my first time to Sports Wrap, so I just like to say thank you for the invitation.
You're
And
welcome.
I even said that it was long overdue.
Yes, I've been wanting to get you there a long time. So because athletics, we have a lot of stuff to discuss about athletics.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to tell us about the state of athletics in Dominica. That's the first question.
Well, the state of athletics is on the rise. That's the first thing I can say because of the international exposure that we've been getting, the performances by our athletes. We may not have the numbers, but when it comes to the performances on a global scene, regional, we are actually up and keeping with the other countries within the Caribbean.
We only had 4 people up in Grenada. Are you satisfied that enough was done to get more people to represent Dominica at the Caribbean again?
On part of the Athletics Association, yes.
Thank
But
you.
as I'm satisfied that we did enough as the Athletics Association to have those representatives. But we wanted more athletes. But at the beginning of the season, we were earmarking 10 athletes to go to the Caribbean Games. But some athletes left, some athletes were not training, and some of the athletes, they were not putting the level of commitment that were required to make the team. It is no secret the Athletics Association had a qualification standard for the games to ensure that we have athletes of quality attending the Caribbean Games. But athletes did not qualify, and we made a decision that only qualified athletes will attend the games.
I need to ask you a question. Austin Silly was the man who started the Caribbean Games.
One of the individuals.
And there's an award that is named after him. Tell us the criteria, because what I found, the girl Janet Digans or something like from Trinidad in the long jump, she was awarded the prize. But I remember this guy from Jamaica, I think it was Nichols Bramwell or what, who broke Usain Bolt's record. You remember that? He was in Grenada in the 400 meters. He was also part of the Jamaica team that won the 400 meters. So why didn't somebody like that, even the girl from the BVI, what's her name? USBI.
Miss Smith, I can recall.
Miss Smith, right. Why it is that the girl from Trinidad, the Guns, got the Austin Silly Award? Tell us the criteria.
I personally will tell you the award is a subjective award. But from what I understood is that she has the 3rd longest jump in the world. And I think it's the top 10 overall of all time in long jump. So when it compares to the gentleman from Jamaica who broke Usain Bolt's record in terms comparable to world under 20 ranking, he's a little bit off because there's a 16-year-old who ran 45 plus this year. So it really placed him off. And also there's Miss Smith. That is one of the surprise. Everyone thought that she would have won the award because she actually doubled in the 400 hurdles and the 800, which has never been done before. And she has actually qualified for the under 20 World Championships in August. And also she's been ranking in the top 10 in the world. So that was basically either the long jumper or the young lady from the FBI. So there was a little bit of debate as to who should have won that award.
Yeah, you spoke about athletes who were not sufficiently committed, so you only have to go with 4 of them.
Yes.
What plans and programs you have to get more athletes committed in Dominica? 1, and what athletes we have now on the international circuit representing Dominica?
Well, everyone knows. Should I start from the last question? Everyone knows Thea Lafont, but we also have Denny Klook, we have Tristan James, we have Trennis Hamilton.
Just 1 minute. We know Thea Lafont. When you call them name, say what areas they're involved in.
So we have Denny Klook, who does the 400 and 800. He was our representative at the Olympics in Tokyo, the last Olympics. We also have Trennis Hamilton, who is based in the US. She's going to college there at Barton University, and she has committed to attend the Alabama University in September. She does the hammer, shot put, discus. We have Tristan James, who does the long jump. Also, we have Corel Etienne, who everyone knows by now, who is in Jamaica. She's on scholarship at the Edwin Allen High School. She has qualified for the Under-20 World Championships, and she came fourth at the character. She does the 1 and the 2. We have Nathan Philip Telemark, who is doing the multi-events now, also on scholarship at the Edwin Allen High School. We have Joshua Seja, Edwin Allen as well. He does the 1 and 2. We have Peter and Peterson Daniel. They're twin brothers. They do the long jump and javelin, respectively. And also, we have Addison James. We cannot forget Addison James, who is our top junior in the Caribbean. He does the javelin, and he's seeking qualification for the javelin throw for the World Under-20.
Thompson Lobby, your guys' question.
The second part of the second question. The first question.
What are we doing to educate and prepare the athletes for
local athletes?
Local athletes for CARIFTA coming up. So the Athletics Association, since we've started our strategic planning process, we have decided that we're going to hold summer camp. So we're going to have these athletes identify young athletes, in consultation with the coaches, the senior coaches, to have them in a group during the summer, so that we'll prepare them for the schools meet. And from the schools meet, based on those who qualify or not, we'll continue to follow their progress and have them in camp for the summer, and also create programs where they can prepare for the CARIFTA Games, which is going to be held in Trinidad. Also, we have our upcoming meet, which is going to be held on the 8th of May, where we got an invitation from Matnik. So what we're going to start to do is identify a quartet of individuals, but we're going to start with mixed relay, where it's going to be 2 boys and 2 girls. That's going to be doing a 4x4. So we're going to start to prepare a relay team from now for CARIFTA Games next year. So at least we'll start that process and identifying these athletes. Because let's be fair, though the coaches are the ones who actually prepare the athletes, sometimes, there are certain various situations within the clubs that forces athletes to leave the programs. We have been supporting every single club based on requests submitted to them, submitted to the Athletics Association. If we cannot do it directly from the Athletics Association, we seek funding from the Olympic Committee to ensure that we prepare these athletes to go to overseas competitions. So a lot of the teams, when you see clubs go out, a lot of them request funding from the Athletics Association. When clubs are holding programs, they request funding from the Athletics Association. And if we cannot do it directly, we go through the Olympic Committee. And in some cases, we also seek interventions from the government who assist us in sending those athletes out to represent Dominica.
Right, Lobby, I know you want to speak to Brendan, so it's right there.
Oh, yes. No, Louis, let me give him his flowers before he starts. Louis is one of the persons who identified me, and I was a member of the Olympians Athletics Club.
Okay. So, Louis,
No, well, no. Thank you. One of the thing that plaguing us, athletics, which Brendan knows as an athlete, is a 400-meter synthetic track in Dominica. That's what is plaguing Dominica for a very, very long time. We have the material. I have seen too many talented athletes fallen by the wayside. Too many. And I cannot see if I have to return to Dominica to go and train people in the gardens. Cannot see that anymore. Mr. Williams, while I was in Dominica, approach was made to the international body. I don't know if it still stands, where they will pledge a certain amount of money, a lot of money, for a track. All the government had to do is to provide the land. Does that still stand from the international body? If the land is provided, that they will assist?
All right, so let me give greater context to that conversation. And I am going to speak on a point of fact. On December 1st of 2023, an application was submitted to World Athletics for a synthetic surface for Dominica. And we got endorsements letter from the Dominica Olympic Committee and also the government of Dominica. And that application stemmed from the Doha Agreement, and they called it the Project 10, where when Doha was bidding for the 2017 World Championships, they made a commitment that they would develop 10 tracks for less fortunate or underdeveloped countries, and Dominica fell within that category. So the application was sent to the World Athletics, and we were supposed to have a decision back in January, but based on the volume of countries that applied, because it's not only for new surfaces, but also to resurface, tracks in around the region that were in deplorable state. I got a letter, a correspondence about 3 weeks ago stating that they needed more time because of some dynamics within, preparation for the Olympic Games. So they said that they will just defer that for a couple more weeks. The government, we have had several consultations, and I can only speak about, since I have became the president of the Athletics Association, several consultations with the Prime Minister, the Minister of Sport, and the Secretary Sports Coordinator, and we have had several bilateral meetings, including the Dominica Olympic Committee, and they have committed until we have done site visits at various locations for the development of that track.
Tell us about some of the locations you're looking at.
Point Rung is one, and also there's one opposite Benjamin's Park. I think Sugarloaf. That's the name of the area. So we have been to those 2 sites, and since then the Prime Minister has, has placed me as lead for a task force for the development of that track. I know there has been budgetary allocations for the development of a synthetic track as well. That is what, from a point of fact, I can speak of.
But
Tomsi, you want to ask Brendan a question?
Just now, Sibo, just now, on the question on the land, Brendan. You said you identified 2 areas. Out of the 2 you have seen, which one is more feasible?
Well, the thing is now, I can only wait for assessment from the Lands and Surveys. I cannot, for me personally, I would go with the one at Sugarloaf, based on the wind, the orientation, and things like that.
So you're saying that?
That's my personal opinion. I am not a professional in that field.
No, not a professional. You have been on the site.
Yes.
All the survey has to do is to survey the land, because that is the problem we have. It's 20 plus years now, 20 and odd years. And I look at it is sad. Look, I can say right here that, look, you had, for example, that Luan, one of the gold medalists, gentlemen, at the Character Games under 17, 200 meters. The young lady finished college. She's in Dominica. All right, she's been frustrated. And before I left, we have to train. Where can we train? I mean, I've been plaguing us for a very, very long time. I don't want your promises, I want to know if in the next 2 years, 2 or 3 years, that yes, we're going to have something. There's too many promises. Too many promises.
Lord Thompson?
Yes, sure. Brendan, it's great to talk to you. I don't think we've ever had a chance to interact, and let me thank you just from the outset for your great work and the eloquence with which you represent athletics. You remind me of our former president that I worked under, Mr. Stephen Hager. I just wanted to say hi to him as well. Labored for many, many years in track and field in Dominica. But I wanted to ask you mentioned the under-20s coming up in August, and we also have the Olympics. Other than Fia Lafont, who else can we expect to see representing Dominica in the Olympics?
So, Mr. Fontaine, before I start, I must commend you you were one of the founding fathers of athletics in Dominica there about 40 years ago. I mean, I know the history of the athletics, so I know you were the first executive.
30 years, I'm not that old.
30. But all in all, you're one of the founding members of track and field in Dominica. So kudos to you for that and for where we are today. Let me just go back to Mr. Loblack's point first before I continue. Mr. Loblack, you're well aware that I know the plights of us, the athletes, and I still consider myself an athlete as it relates to training. So that's why I fully advocate, and I am one of the, how should I say, I drive to ensure that we have that. But at the end of the day, some things are out of our remit. We are still waiting on World Athletics decision. And also the Olympic Committee through Pan Am Sports has also been given grant funding for the construction of a track in Dominica. But sometimes with the grant funding, they dictate what track, what synthetic surface, and what are you actually going to
because
get.
it has to be certified by them. Because we don't want to be like St. Lucia. Remember what happened to St. Lucia? When the Chinese build that track for them, and their times, they're not being recognized by the international body. That is why the international body must be on board.
Yeah, but it's not only about the certification. The certification is the least of the issues. The issue is that the cost of maintaining the track after. So they would go to someone that they already, how should I say, they're in a mutual agreement with. But for example, if you use a Mondo track, which is one of the fastest tracks, the upkeep of a Mondo track and how often you have to replace the track, it's going to be a recurring cost on the Athletics Association, on the government, and that is something that we may not be able to maintain without adequate funding streams coming in. So we also have to pay attention to that. But to Mr. Thompson,
but we have.
No, hold on, Lobby. Let him finish answer Thompson's question.
Yeah, but to Mr. Thompson Fountain's point, we have Karel Etienne that we're looking at the under 20, but we're also looking at Addison James. He is 2.5 meters short in the javelin throw, where he has to throw 68 meters and he threw 65.50. The Athletics Association took a decision that we're going to support him and his coach for that period to prepare for the games, and also to seek funding to send him to various competitions within the region so that he could meet the qualifying mark. So we are looking at 2 individuals for the under 20. For the Olympic Games, we are looking at Denny Klook, Tristan James, Trennis Hamilton, and Thea Lafont. That is for track and field.
Yeah, Lobby, go ahead. You want to answer a question?
Brendan, you just mentioned three or 4 other people. But you know, first of all, that what I have seen right now, the standards in athletics is so flipping high now. Very, very high, which you are aware. I mean, I just can't understand that. What has happened? You know, in the sprints, in the jumps, in the throws. And I know for a fact it's not an easy exercise
And I'm happy that you brought that up, because
Brendan, what I would like us to do right now, also, seeing that the Olympic Games coming up, and Thea Lafont, a household name, I need to see a banner. Can go to Flow or Digicel. You have a banner somewhere around. Let people see that, at least we have for sure, we have a representative. She's qualified ready for Paris. She's a gold medalist at the World Indoor. We need to have that. I don't know if you'll agree with me.
Yeah, but also I will address the first point I was trying to complete is one. I'm happy that you alluded to the fact that the standards is very high to qualify for the Olympic Games.
I know.
For example, when I was competing, the standards for high jump was 2.28. Right now, to qualify for high jump is 2.33 or 2.34. But right now,
raise the bar.
Right now, what World Athletics and the Olympic Committee has done, there are different pathways to get to the Olympics. You could either qualify outright or based on your global ranking. So you'll find a lot of the athletes going to various meets, diamond leagues, or meets where they can score points so that they will be ranked higher on the world ranking to create a pathway. Also, you could enter the Olympics through winning continental championships such as the Pan Am Games or the NACAC Athletics Championships. So these are different pathways. But when you speak of our representation and the banner, and I'm happy that you actually indicated 2 names of companies. The Athletics Association can do so much. If you look within the Caribbean, a lot of the banners, the posters that you're seeing, they are constructed or they have been donated by corporate entities within the country. Our corporate entities within the country, they do a little bit for sports. I am happy that now a lot of them are approaching us, the Athletics Association, to be a part of the process in developing our athletes, not just be reactive, but be proactive in ensuring that our athletes are being promoted. And to your point, there are discussions with various entities and individuals to create a few banners for our athletes. I could name Addison James, and I have been in conversation with, for example, the parliamentary representative and the Ministry of Sports for Addison James in construction of a banner.
No, what about that now? I'm looking at Thea, Brendan,
and I was just getting to that point as well, Mr.
Okay.
Luna. So we have also been in this discussion to have Thea's banner or billboard in 2 strategic locations in Dominica. So it is conversations that's been held, but it's just for it to materialize. Because, for example, to have a banner up or a billboard up, it is a cost of $1,000 a month to rent the billboard.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, $1,000 a month to rent a billboard. So we'd have to build our own billboard and then put the canvas on. But if we have to utilize a billboard that's up already, it is $1,000 a month. And that is from a point of actually being engaging in corporate Dominica to find out the facts as to how it costs and how much for us to do that for our athletes.
Yeah, just before, quickly, Thea Lafont, I felt after she won the gold medal, we should have celebrated her more in Dominica.
Of course.
We should have found some way of bringing her down in Dominica, speaking to young people at the college, speaking to athletes where she's from originally, to inspire other young Dominicans. Yeah, I'm Fialafo. I came from there. I've been able to do it. You can also do it too. So I think there's an area that you all fell down a bit, and I hope in the future, when people excel, that you bring them in. So just before that, you're very, I like the way you speak. I like the way you speak. You're very good. The other area, just before that, and you just take two questions. St. Vincent recently has developed a multi-purpose stadium for athletics. They were not very successful in the last games, but they have that base now where they can work with the athletes.
Of course.
What is the model, and can we replicate that model in Dominica?
So I will go with the first one.
Thea
Lafo coming down to Dominica. It was a conversation that we had with Thea Lafo. We cannot force an athlete to come down because she's already on her structured program. The day after Thea won the gold medal, Thea moved on straight back to her training center, back in training. So she does not want to change the training cycle. And also, back to Mr. Loblack's point, when she comes down, which track is she going to train? And how many days she's going to be missing. I know some people may say it will be 1 day, 2 days, but these athletes take this serious, very serious. As it relates to the St. Vincent model, I will say kudos to Mr. Keith Joseph, who is the president of the Athletics Association and General Secretary. and
controversial guy, eh?
I love him, Sibo.
And General Secretary of
NACAC?
No, he's the CEO of NACAC. I can list a lot because we serve on several boards together. I consider him one of my mentors. No, Keith Joseph and the Athletics Association in St. Vincent, they were waiting on the same promise from World Athletics for years, and it has not been materializing. So that's why they went through the route of Pan Am Sports and also through the route of the government. But as you can see, the track is not completed. You know, there are certain variations in terms of where certain position of the shot put should not be aligned, because if you throw the shot put, it may go on the track. But at least they have one. You know, there's only bleachers, there's no grandstands, but it's a work in progress.
You build on that.
So it's a work in progress. But like I said, they were under the same circumstance as Dominica. So here it is, even Keith Joseph is also assisting the other countries such as Dominica and Anguilla, which are the only 2 countries in the Caribbean without a track. And they're saying, hey, we do not have the track anymore. We don't need a track anymore. So any funds that you may intend for St. Vincent, put it towards those 2 smaller countries to assist us.
Brendan, there's probably a caller for you. Good evening.
Good evening. Great show. I'm very much impressed by this young guy. My question to him is, do you have any aspiration in taking your leadership towards the Olympic Committee? Thank you.
I hear that every other day, but as of now, I see that there's so much more work to be done in athletics. So let me take my time to bring athletics to a point where it is not only recognized on the regional level, but also on an international level. And we have been getting compliments from World Athletics based on the fact that we have safeguarding policy. We have, you know, within 2 years of our administration, we're able to get a sponsor from ASICS. You know, we have a silver referee, we have a competitions director, we have a few executive members going to be doing, well, not executive members, but of our officials going to be doing the bronze level certification. So that we want to change the culture of athletics in Dominica before I pursue something else.
Right. Okay, Brendan, we press for time. So finally, let me ask, I want to ask you one final question. Can you tell us, we're going to have a track in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, in 1 year's time? Are you confident that Dominica will have a track?
I am confident that we may even host Carifta by 2028.
You're confident 2028?
2028.
So you're confident?
I'm confident.
2020 what year?
And
2028,
and the reason why I said 2028, Trinidad is next year, 26.
They have what they have, man.
Trinidad, no, listen, the reason why I said that, Trinidad is next year, it's already earmarked. Guyana is 26, and there's a fight between Turks and Caicos and Curacao. So that's why I'm saying I'm confident that we'll have Carifta games by 2028.
Right. Okay, so guys, we have one call. Let's probably take that final call for Brandon before he goes. Let's take that call. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. Quickly, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, quickly, yes. I just want to find out why Coach Godwin Dorset wasn't part of the Carifta team in the interest of time, seeing that out of the 4-member athletic team from Dominica, three of the people, of the athletes came from Westmar Rangers, which is the club of Coach Godwin Dorset. So can somebody give her, because the young people in Marigot and Wesley, they're very upset that their coach didn't go to Carrister with the rest of the athletes, since that they dominated the squad as it was. So
I think that has been a very contentious issue for some. I don't know. The Executive Athletics Association reserves the right to select any coach based on the composition of the team. There were throwers and there were also a sprinter. And we wanted a coach that would be in the best interest for both mix, a throw and a sprint. I don't think it was contentious for the past 7 years when Mr. Dorset was on the as coach or a coaching staff of the Carrister team. I didn't see that as an issue when he was on the Commonwealth Games team or the Commonwealth Junior. I didn't see that as an issue. But like I said, we have based on the composition of the team, we set coaches who are able to execute their duties with both sprints and coach. If it had a middle distance, probably be somebody else.
Okay, Brendan. So we will get you back. I'm sure you will want to come and join us. I'm sure most people enjoy listening to you. So we'll time to time feel free to come and join us.
No problem. As long as I'm here, I'm available.
Thank you, my brother, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we just heard from Mr. Brendan Williams, the president of the Dominica Athletics Association. I think he did a wonderful job, and I think he educated listeners out there. We're going straight to football. We press for time tonight. We have on the line Mr. Ebby Lawrence. Good night, sir.
Good night, Thibault. Good night, gentlemen. How are you all?
We are very well. And what about you?
I'm good. Bless God. Can't complain.
Well, your football started last weekend, the Premier League. So you have to tell us what happened.
Yes, the league started on Friday, that passed, Friday the 5th of April, and Petro Caribe won the first of the game versus Promet Salem. They won that game 2-1. And on Saturday, we had Roosevelt Carib Bombers versus Sagico Southeast. Sagico Southeast won that game 1-0. And that same Saturday, we had Belfast Estate Maru Soccer Strikers playing against Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla Limited and was thrashed 11-0. Sunday Connect 767 East Central. They won Bath State 3-1. And Valvoline United came up against Tranquility Beach Middleham United and won 4-0. These were 21 goals were scored for the first weekend of the football game, 21 of the goals. And we had Mr. Travis Joseph of the Dubla, Central Cooperative Dubla Football FC, scoring 5 of these goals. We have Dante Warrington from Petro Caribe Point Michel scoring 2. John Gregoire of Connect 7 East Central, 2. Odell Laville of Dubla as well, 2. And Fabio Drago of We United, 2. So these are the top scorers for the season thus far, the opening of the season. However, we meet again on Saturday, and on Saturday we will have Tranquility Beach, Middleham United coming up against Petro Caribe Point Michel at 4 p.m. at the Stock Farm Training Center, and later Promex Harlem coming up against Bath Estate. On Sunday at 4, we will have Sagico Southeast coming up against Connect 7 East Central, and Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla coming up against Roosevelt Carib Bombers. And Middleham plays at Saturday versus PDV Caribbean at 4. So these are the games for the weekend that will be coming. We have no games tomorrow as our coaches are presently engaged in their licensing program. So we have no games tomorrow.
Ebby, let me ask you a question. I was in Grand Bay on Wednesday. I went to watch Dominica match, and that ground looked in top shape to me. The under-19 cricket match, Dominica and St. Lucia. Have you all have any plans to play football in Grand Bay? Do you all have any plans?
Well, Lobby going forward, that was considered Monday at our executive meeting. So I'm not going to disclose everything that was said, but this week going forward, Granby will be considered shortly as one of the venues for football in Dominica. I'm telling you that by the very fact.
Okay, because the ground looking in very good condition to me.
I saw it myself, and it's one of the best for now.
Yes. Anybody have any question for Abby?
Upcoming international games. Can you just tell us about the upcoming international games?
Yes, okay. Where we stand, the game is for the Windsor Park on the 9th of June. However, our players will be leaving for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to play 2 friendlies, official friendly games. They will leave somewhere in May. More information will be given when everything is ironed out. The national players will be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to play 2 friendly international games before the official kickoff of FIFA's game.
That's good news. That's very good. Welcome news. Thompson Lobby, you have a question for Abby?
Yes, Abby. Thanks again for joining us. Always great to hear the updates, and thank you and the association for what you guys do in terms of building these sports in Dominica. Now, Abby, some time ago you talked about the you mentioned that Javid George, one of our leading players from the Southeast was out on trials or tryouts, in England. Any updates on
Well,
him
he is on island. He is on island presently. He was the lone scorer for Sajiko Southeast on Saturday. Plans are on the way to further his training in the UK. This is forthcoming, and we are just working presently with the various stakeholders to get this matter ironed out. And not just for Javid, it will be going along for other players as well, as soon as the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Remember, I said to you all, we are in the process of building capacity, not just for ourselves. And gentlemen, I want to challenge you now on this program, Lobby. Not just take it from me. I would want one of these days that I could furnish you with the numbers of every of the premier clubs, that you find out where they are, the challenges they are facing, and others can listen, and we can better help them, because I speak really FA and speak on what the players need to hear, but at the same time they may have their concerns, and they do not get the chance to really meet with me or any other member of the executive. So going forward, one of the ways to even boost up football is to seek from the premier teams, especially what is going on, retraining, the capabilities and the problems they are facing, because sometimes we do not know, and we project good things, but I would welcome one of these days that we seek an audience with the premier teams going forward, because I can tell you, Lobby, your countryside, Dublin is doing some good work, and they will be representing Dominica come soon in the CFU games. So this is an opportunity to meet with Dublin and find out what is going on in their camp, the plans they have as to raising funds, and how we, SportsRap, and other persons can come on board to really help shape our athletes, because in going out, they maybe get scouted, and that would be a big boost for the Commonwealth.
Abby, sorry, if I can just do a quick follow-up on this.
I will send you the information. I will send you the information of the Dubla presidents, and I will make that available as soon as I cut off from the radio.
Thompson wants to ask you a question.
Yeah, a very quick follow-up, and I'm glad you raised the issue of support. And in fact, I would really like to make an appeal and use that opportunity to make an appeal for more corporate support, corporate sponsorship. Because even in terms of Javid, kudos to Cheryl Roll of Sajiko, that has been supporting Southeast over all these years and has made it possible for a person like Javid. I think what we really need is probably a lot more corporate sponsorship. I mean, individually we can help out, but I think ultimately it has to have a bigger involvement of some of our businesses in football in Dominica to really help the athletes grow and move forward.
I am happy you said that, because most times, and we need to get the notion out of our head that FIFA gives Dominica a lump sum of money, and that the DFA is being run by having a lot of money from FIFA. But running the very league and for our national teams to travel, it takes a lot, and I'm very, very, very thrilled that you said we wish you would hope the other corporate sponsors could come on board. And hence, this is one of the greatest desires of me being PRO, that other corporate citizens would assist. We and better our players, because tomorrow morning we look at the Man U's, we look at the Liverpools, and we saying to ourselves that, hey, what day will I see a Dominican playing in such a league? And this is our desire. And as I've said and stated before, it's from moving from one phase to another. Right now, I believe that we are going places. It's just a matter of the public coming on board with us, because I am confident that with this executive, things are shaping up, because we are going to meet shortly to develop a strategic development plan for football going forward. We will be calling on persons around us and in Dominica and out of to really help put a program in order for the footballers. I was happy to hear, and I'm taking it now, this is Eddie speaking, that the Prime Minister is speaking sports policy, and one of the greatest peeves that I have and others would have before me is that our national traders, after coming up from a hard day's work, they have to find themselves going to train, and it makes them tired and beat up. So going forward, these are the things we want to better for our players, and see Dominican, we raise the flag, we raise the standards for our players.
Question
okay, Eddie, thank you. Huh?
Sibo, a question for him, Sebastian.
Go ahead quickly, because we have so many people. We have
know.
to. Yeah.
So many people waiting lobby.
Yeah.
Go ahead, lobby.
Did you receive a report from England on the young footballer?
Well, his club would have it. That is Sajiko Southie.
I thought. Okay. I thought the FA was in the FA. had gotten a report.
No. Well, again, but that's because you have other persons. Sajiko Southie should have it, and then I believe the prudent thing is to finish it to the FA, because he was sent out Sajiko Southie, because Cheryl Rule piloted the everything. But going forward, I believe they will send it because they are listening.
Okay. Abby, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Always very nice to speak to you. And next week,
I will send you the club.
well, you have my number, so you can always send it to me. And always nice speaking to you. So we'll talk to you again next week. Thank you very much. And wish you all the best in your matches this weekend. Okay, Abby? Yeah. Well, it was always nice. Abby is always on top of the action. And we have to move on, guys. I think we're going to be talking basketball now, because we have a lot of cricket. We have the under-19. By the way, guys, Thompson, did you see the LBW this afternoon?
Yes, I did. I saw both of them.
What is ridiculous? I mean, Windward Islands could lose the game because of this nonsense umpire. Both Kavem and Ali. In fact, I was just messaging
Kavem. I think Kavem possibly, because
if you listen to the commentators, they're going down the leg side. And Alex out, man.
No, but Alex was atrocious. I mean, there was a big edge, the big deflection of the ball.
Man.
I don't know.
In fact, I was just messaging the Western Football president, telling her nonsense every time. And Windward always seems to be suffering all the time.
Yeah. The game just changed, huh?
Yes.
That changed the game.
Yeah, both of them got out within 2 overs.
Yeah.
And then watching them play as ridiculous shot, the night watchman. I don't know what you were thinking.
Tyson.
Yes, I don't know what the hell he was thinking to play that kind. To me, when a batsman does something like that, he shouldn't even come to the dressing room. He should go somewhere else, honestly.
I think it was probably just out of frustration, after seeing the way those dismissals went and so on. And then also the light was an issue as well. Sibo, it was getting dark. And they were forced to stay out there. So there's a number of things that were going on there.
Man. I mean, and always not good. What's his name? Do good or not good or whatever his name.
But I'm Sibo. Sebastian.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Windward. Their first 3 and their last 3 games.
The batting has let them down. I mean, there's no doubt
very
about
much.
it. The batting has let them down in the last 2 games.
As I said last week, Sebastian, I cannot understand.
Okay, Lobby, we have Donny on the line, so we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Donny, good evening, man.
Okay, that's okay.
Yes. Good evening, gentlemen, and thanks for having me again.
Well, yeah, Thompson's there, Lobby is there, Ronald is there, Lamb is there. So, well, tell us, Donny, you into the finals are coming up, or are we in semi-final stage now? Or the basketball?
Yeah, we are the semi-finals. Actually, the semi-final was supposed to have been taking place tonight, but we in the honor of Mr. Elias Bassett, postponed. Yes, we are actually attending a candlelight vigil for him as we speak now in Bend.
Oh,
very good.
Very good.
Yeah. So that's where we are, the couple members of the executive and some teammates. So the games have been moved to tomorrow night for the semi-finals and the finals being Saturday night, back to back.
Okay. So who are the teams playing?
Yeah, so tomorrow night in the semi-finals, we have 4 teams. We have the 2 teams from the Falcons Premier Division and Falcons Division 1. They're playing the first game, and the second game is being played between the Detroit Blazers and the 77s Sports Club.
That's your team, right, Donny? That's your team?
Yes, that's my team.
Okay. And all the matches obviously at Massac, right?
Yes, all the matches for the knockout round is at Massac, and hopefully the 2 teams will do battle on Saturday night at 8 p.m. in the final match. And on Saturday night also, we will have the launching of the female basketball league right before the final.
Let me ask you, you never thought of carrying like the finals on Saturday live so people could see it or hear it?
Well, yeah, we actually, it's a good thing you said that. We actually discussed that on Monday, and we are trying to see if we can get the Saturday night game and the female launching as well live. So that's part of the plan. We are actually working on that.
Yeah, because even television, you probably can even explore that as well. I mean, you have Vibian TV and all these people who probably can assist you.
Yes. Good point. We're looking into that one, for sure.
Okay, what will be the price for the finals, semi-finals and finals?
It's still going to be $5 per person, and we are not charging school children. So $5 per person get you into the facility. We think it's, we're still in the mode of encouraging as many people as possible to come out, and hoping that we can, of course, support the basketball, but also show and pay our respect to Mr. Elias and his passing.
Okay, so please, members of the public, over this weekend, I will be there this weekend. Let us go out there and support basketball. Sebastian has been supporting cricket. I haven't had the chance yet. I supported cycling last weekend. This weekend we have basketball. We also have football. Members of the public, this is very good entertainment. Let's go out and support our young people.
You guys had any question for Donny Thompson, Lobby?
No.
Okay. Well, Donny, before we go, I want to go to NBA. It's getting to the playoffs soon. I'm watching it, Donny. Look, Lakers could either come number 8 or number 10. Because if there's a tiebreaker, if Golden State, they're going to come to number 10. And they don't want to be playing, because if you come number 10, you would have to beat the number 9 and still win the win of 7 or 8, right?
Yes, correct.
Now, what could happen as well? Sacramento could end up number 9 or 10 as well.
Yep.
So you have some interesting matches over the next few days, right?
Yep.
I would be biased and say it really doesn't matter where Lakers end up.
So you think no matter who they play, they can win, right?
It doesn't matter who they play, will win.
Okay.
That's coming from a true fan. But it's good for basketball in the West, especially. It's really tightly contested, and if you notice, the last quarter of the NBA season has been very, very keenly contested. All the games,
Yeah, man.
the so-called strong teams are getting beaten. So
Well, wait for the playoffs.
Playoffs has to come.
Well, the playing is before the playoffs. They'll be the playing first.
Well, it's a different league, Sebastian.
The playing is on what, Tuesday and Wednesday, Donny?
Yeah. It's a different league altogether, the playoffs.
So it's going to be very interesting. So we'll wait. So, Donny, we will speak to you. Let's hope everything works out well for you guys on Saturday night, and that you'll have a good final with a big listenership or viewership, whatever it is.
Yes. And I look forward next week to sharing the results with you guys. And again, thanks for keeping basketball alive on your program. I always look forward to helping out and talk about it.
Yeah, thanks. Well, all sports. We try to all sports on that program. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, man.
Thank you,
Donny.
Yeah,
Thank you, Donny.
Yeah, that was Donny Robinson, the president of the Basketball Association.
Thibault.
Yes, Lobby?
When I just hearing about, basketball in Massac, and I was telling myself, a very small area, and I think of my days in the Windsor Park, 4,000 to 5,000 people inside there, and here we lack of foresight. We go and we run in Massac and build, I think, for what, 600-700 people. it's really.
Well, I heard somebody saying the Padre Pros are supposed to be running some clinics, and every time they can't find time because too much CO in the Windsor Park. Did you hear that comment?
What kind of clinic?
Well, you asking me? I don't know. There was an interview with Wadix yesterday, and it was said that the Padre Pros for Rosso wants to conduct, but they can't find time because every time it's CO in the Windsor Park. I want to know who created that CO in the Windsor Park.
Sibo, has the stage, since as the carnival is done now, I left Dominica, the stage was still there.
2421. 2421. Go ahead, Lobby. What you said?
When I left DA, they had cut, the stage was still on. I wanted the stage is still there.
But I don't even know. Sometimes I hardly pass by the Windsor Park, to be honest. I don't even know what's happening there.
So nobody passed, no fella passed there then. To see what's going on, pass there then. Do you look and see? Don't pass there at all?
To do what? What are you going to do inside there?
But Tibo, when it comes to cricket, we have to have a little discussion on what's happening.
No, when we have played cricket, the last part of it, because we have the under 19, we have that nonsense I saw this afternoon with these umpires going on, real crap. I mean, and this guy always doing that foolish Dugida, or whatever his name is there.
And then we have World Cup coming up. We have the
IPL, the IPL is going to be very, that's why they say bowlers win. I watch Kohli's team now. They have lost 5 games now, right?
Yes.
5 out of 6 in the IPL. And Bumrah, you saw what Bumrah did today, right?
The 5-4, he took a 5-4.
He demolished them today.
5
Bumrah.
for 21, I think it was. Yeah.
In 4 overs, the man takes what? 5 for 15 or something like that?
So,
the guy does something else.
Yeah.
What is it with Shammer? Has he played a game?
Whom?
Shammer.
No, because of the guy Mayank Yadav played for that same team. But look, I saw today when they say he's a little injured. So let's hope Summer Joseph will get. But it's something we have to talk about. A lot of the West Indians are not playing. A lot of them, Paul Will, Hope, a lot of them are not playing. So you're going to go to World Cup.
Only 3 of our guys that are playing. 2 of our guys that are playing.
Exactly.
It's Quran and Russell. Yeah, that's it. But a lot of people are now saying that Sharma should really be in the West Indies playing in the championship.
Okay, so we have with us David Johnson, who is going to tell us about the under-19, not the statistics, because after that we're going to have the manager of the team, Claudia Sanford. David, tell us, Grenada looks like they're running away with the competition now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could safely say that Grenada have 4 out of 4 wins. 4 out of 4 wins out of 4 matches, with leading 8 points. So they had a very good match against St. Lucia at Geneva playing field today.
They won by 2 runs or something like that?
Excuse me?
They won by 2 runs or something like that today?
I would think one run. I think they won by 1 run.
Yeah.
I would actually go on over the scorecard for you. Actually, they bowled Grenada for 150 and they made St. Lucia made 149 and Grenada made 150 actually. So that is by 1 run they won. If you could allow me to go through with the scorecard.
Well, we don't want the whole scorecard. We don't have much time. What you can tell us the point system so far, the leading scorers and the leading wicket takers.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, as I told you previously, I mean in points we are Grenada leading with 8 points out of 4. We have St. Lucia on second with 4 points and Dominica third also on 4 points. The net run rate is actually the difference between St. Lucia and Dominica, because St. Lucia have a better net run rate than Dominica. 0.596 to St. Lucia and 0.346 to Dominica. If I go down to the leading run scorer, we have Raquel Sylvester with 130 runs, average of 22.
Where is he from?
He's from Grenada actually. And in second, we have Arsenio Fountain, 119 runs, average 49.67. And in third, we have Kind George with 110 runs.
From where?
Average 46.67.
Well, Kind George is from Dominica, Lobby, the wicketkeeper.
Fountain is from Dominica too?
From the Carib Territory, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, there's 6 players from the Carib Territory there. In fact, last Sunday, while I was in Portsmouth, at one stage you thought you were in Sally Bay or something like that. You thought at one time, because one area of the ground, all you saw was people from the Carib Territory. Anyway, go on, David.
Yes, okay. For the bowling, we have Aaron Joseph out of St. Lucia. He have 11 wickets with an average of 8.64. We have Jelani Joseph from Dominica. With 9 wickets, average 6.11, and we have Arsenio Fontaine with 9 wickets, average 11.56. Yeah, that's the top 3 in the bowling.
What about Jason Vidal? How is he doing in the competition, our captain?
4 wickets today.
Well, Jason didn't actually had a good start in terms of the ball and the bat and the ball, but I think today he had a pretty good match. I think he had 4 wickets, but in the tournament so far, in his wickets, he have 4 wickets so far in the tournament, averaging 14.75. Jason Vidal.
Well, as we talk about that is a problem, guys. In fact, I had this discussion with the coach this morning because they talk about some rule where they have to bowl the fast bowlers. I tell them what you need spinners, and we had a discussion. They changed it around. The spinners came on to bowl at both ends, and they bowl out St. Lucia for what? 90 odd, St. Vincent. So this thing about, and if you want him to make the Windward Islands like Justin, because he has to bowl. It doesn't make sense you have a captain not bowling and expect him to make the Windward Islands team. So I think I don't understand what they're talking about the rules, honestly, really. Anyway, go on. What else do you have to tell us?
Yes, okay. We could just complete the 4th round of matches, and we have a break tomorrow. I think there'll be a rest day tomorrow, and then the tournament continues on Saturday and on Sunday. Yeah.
Well, tell listeners the matches for this weekend.
On Saturday, we have the Grenada playing Dominica at the Geneva playing field, and we have St. Vincent playing St. Lucia at the Benjamin Park. And on Sunday, we have St. Lucia actually playing the Dominica at the Benjamin Park, and we have Grenada playing St. Vincent at Geneva playing field. That's the last day on Sunday.
Yes, well, okay, brother. Thank you very much.
A quick question for him in terms of the competition. Is it that each team plays each other twice and then that's it? Whoever wins, is that the way the competition is this year?
Yes, definitely. Each team plays it twice, and the team with the most points win the tournament.
So okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Well, we're going to speak to the manager now of the Dominica team. Thank you very much. We'll speak to you again next week after the completion of the tournament, and you'll give us all the statistics. But we want to encourage people to go out and watch. As I said, I went to Grand Bay, and there was a very good crowd, Thompson, I could tell you yesterday. In Portsmouth last Sunday, there are a lot of the people from the Carib Territory area, they were there watching cricket because, like I said, 6 Ron Thompson, you're going to make a point.
No, I was saying I was disappointed on Wednesday though with Dominica.
Dominica should have won that game easily. 176 for 4, chasing 2 and then fell away. But I can tell you, young Fontaine looks a pretty decent player. By the way, Thompson is Gracian Fontaine. You know Gracian, right?
Yes,
from
yes.
That's his grandchild.
Yes.
He does look a very good player, this young boy.
No, this
14-year-old.
Arsenio is definitely the future.
Okay, we have on the line first. We have on the line Thompson, Claudius Sanford, who is the manager of the Dominica team. So we're just going to hear from him for a few minutes. Claudius, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sebastian. Good evening, Lobi, and good evening.
Ronald is there, and Dr. Fontaine is there.
Ronald, good evening.
First thing, let me say, good victory today, good win today.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, the boys came through themselves and put on a very entertaining match today. They played cricket like they really enjoyed it today, and they claimed a victory, second victory in this tournament, which I think is a good sign for the under-19 cricket in Dominica.
Yes, and as I say, I've seen all the matches Dominica have played. It was disappointing when they lost against Grenada. We should have won that match easily. But I mean, it's going to be impossible to get past Grenada. They've won 4 matches now, but still all is not lost. If Dominica can win the 2 games, hope Grenada loses another game, you can still tie Grenada. So the guys still have to go out and play cricket, eh?
Definitely, and I think the players are aware of that. And after the rest day tomorrow, I think they will be putting some of their best efforts in the last 2 games. We saw some of the players came through really well, And I think David Johnson highlighted some of the outstanding players. But I had on as well on my list to mention a few of them. We had in the bowling department, we had Kester Lestrade, a very newcomer from the village of Petit Soufrière, who has played 2 games. He was rested for a slight injury to his toes. Who has 7 wickets so far, and he had 5 wickets for 17 runs in the first match.
Is he a fast bowler, spinner?
He's a fast bowler.
No. You know, hold on a while. I always have a problem with this term about fast bowler. You cannot have people bowling medium pace and call it a fast bowler. Please. I have a serious problem with that. Everybody fast bowler. He's a medium pacer. Let us be real, please. Huh?
Now, you were like, I understand you and your terms, but if we look at the category of cricket on the under-19 level and the senior level, you know,
is it genuine?
Differentiations. I think he would pass
as a fast bowler. Well, you need but to be honest, he's not a fast bowler because you see how he's about what 15, 16 now.
He's 16 years old.
Right. So you want to see people develop as fast, but he can develop as a fast bowler. But right now, you don't say he's a medium pacer. That's what I'm saying. Let us not mix those matters. But you say he was rested. He didn't play against Grenada. But what happened today? Why didn't he play today?
No, he played against Grenada and St. Vincent, and he rested yesterday and today.
So is he fit for the rest of the tournament?
Yes, he will be. With these young guys and the shoe they have, sometimes if they don't take care of it, their toes kind of get a little bit sore, you know, by running in and jumping hard. And because of his inexperience, I guess he didn't prepare properly the shoe he was bowling. So he gets a little thing. Give him some time, and he'll definitely come through in the next game. But we also had Jelani Joseph, who also our leg spinner is one of the lead wicket takers. He has 11 wickets so far.
He looks a good prospect, eh? And the good thing about him, he bowls it googly. He bowls it googly as well.
In the game on Tuesday, on Monday, he had a 5 wicket. Today he had a 3 wicket haul again. So he's been consistent and very, very good prospect for the Windward Island, I believe, as well, and Dominica future cricket. And Jason Vidal has came through as well. He had a 4 for 25 today. And he's showing up his hands now in the later end of the tournament. So I think we have some really talented players in this squad. In the batting department, you had Kine George, who's up to 100 and something. Sinyo is 100 and something. Kine had 68 in the game against Grenada. Sinyo had 55. And he also had Luvio Charles, who had a well-played 42 in the first game against St. Vincent. And today we saw our openers, you know, starting to come up with themselves. Darren Tousse and Diony Rule had a good opening partnership for us that helped, you know, cement the victory today, or laid the foundation for a very good victory today.
Well, you didn't call him Fontaine. I've been hearing a lot about Fontaine, not Thompson Fontaine, but I've been hearing a lot about a young, talented guy.
I did say Osinio.
Osinio. Oh, his first name is Osinio.
Osinio Fontaine.
Okay.
Osinio.
Top lead wicket taker and also in top batting, you know, the batting numbers. So
he's still under 16.
He's under 15.
Under 15.
He just came back, he just came back from the under 15 tournament.
He was the winner, was under 15 captain.
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, I've watched what? Almost all the games. That guy does look a prospect. As I say, you don't want to talk too early sometimes. And
he has talent.
He has a lot of ability. That guy, plenty of ability. He bowls a good medium pace. He does do something with the ball. He's batting. He gets behind the ball. He strokes the ball, and very promising young kid. Honestly, very promising. Tom, you have any question for him, Lobby?
I was concerned about the game on Wednesday because after watching, I thought that they you know, and I would like to get Claudius's view on that in terms of what he thought about the attitude and the approach to the game, because I thought that at the end, you know, they just kind of melted away, you know, and I was wondering, you know, what were his thoughts about that in terms of their ability to really stand up and play.
Well, the thing is, the team as it is has about 7 newcomers who are under 17, right? They are most of them 16, 15 years old, right? And the game ended on Wednesday, having the tail enders under some pressure. The overs were running out, and I think the lack of experience in the game had the better of them. Not anything for their talent or their ability. I think they all are very talented players, but that psychological impact of the game, which sometimes we as coach and management don't have sufficient time to prepare the players, for those conditions, And all in all, I think from a management perspective, it's good for them. They had the real experience of learning those little tactical aspects of the game under pressure. And although they didn't live up to the expectation of many of the fans and the cricket lovers, but I think they came out there with better knowledge of the game and some experience under their belt that they can handle such pressure situations in the future in their cricket career.
Yeah, well, Claudius, I wish you all the best. I will see you all the next 2 games. I hope the guys realize they have everything to play for. Windward Islands team has to be selected. The West Indies under-19 tournament is in St. Vincent this summer, so everything to play for. So you have to tell your guys 2 games, performances count. If let's say they don't win the tournament, but that is important. So hopefully if you want the coach, probably can come on join us in Sports Wrap in studio next week. Would be grateful.
That I will talk about. While we are at it, let me just use the opportunity as well to, thank Mr. Mervyn Thomas, who is the coach. Very experienced guy. My first time in that situation, managing the Dominica side, I am very grateful to the Dominica Cricket Association for giving me that opportunity to work with those young guys and, to help, mold some of the talents we have in the sport. So I would like to thank Mr. Thomas, who's done a good job with the young guys, and Mr. Vincent Ruiz as well. Putting together the squad was really, an experience for us, and also, we look forward to, working with these young people, see them grow into mature cricketers,
Okay.
Another thing I just want to touch on, Sibo, within a minute.
Go ahead.
When we put that team together, we were very delighted to have Cash Wiz, business person Rosso, and Sadiq Eustace come forward and help the young guy from their village, Kester Lestrade, with some assistance to build his cricketing career. They did donate to him and intend to work with him and help him build his career. And also Burton's and Company, who came forward to assist Darren Toussaint, one of our open bats in this tournament, to help him build the cricket. And I think this is good sign from the corporate entity or the corporate community in Dominica. And I'd really like to encourage, the businesses in Dominica to be a little more involved in the development of sports in general, not just cricket, but sports in general. And those 2 companies, I really want to compliment them for coming forward and assisting in whatever way possible. I think they're open doors for greater things with those companies, for those players, and I'm really delighted and grateful for that. And Sibo, it was really nice seeing you at all the games, come in and sit and support the guys and so on. I really wish some of the past cricketers would do the same and come out and help sometimes when we're doing the coaching, and the practices. Come out and share some of the expertise and so on. And maybe during the games when the boys are playing and under pressure, maybe it's not the best time, to kind of be shouting stuff at them. But during the practice and the training sessions, it would be nice to have them come in and really assist those boys and share some of their knowledge, and they can really, implement it and put it into practice in the real games,
No worries, my brother. No worries. Thank you very much. So next week, if you all can join us in studio, we'll be happy for that.
No problem. I will discuss that with Coach and we'll get back to you.
No problem. Guys,
all right, gentlemen, good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Tom, so we can give this course. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, a quick clarification. How many games have been played?
4 games. Each team has played 4 games.
Each team has played 4.
Yeah. Because if everybody plays everybody's 2 wrongs. It's 2 wrongs.
It should be 3 games then, not 4.
No. Dominica lost 2 and won 2. Dominica played 4. Today is Thursday. They played Sunday, Monday, right? Wednesday, Thursday,
Wednesday,
and then Saturday, Sunday.
So okay, so it's really okay. I think there was probably an error then on the Cricket Association page because they were showing after 2 games, Dominica had 4 points.
No,
But
Dominica now has played
that's
4 games.
correct.
Dominica lost 2 games. They lost badly yesterday, batted very badly against St. Lucia. And the game against Grenada should have won easily and lost.
Right, they lost
So
that.
there.
Okay.
But I must say, the crowd, people watching in Grand Bay in particular, a lot of people are there. I was surprised myself and surprised to see the ground in very good condition, honestly. And in Portsmouth, I must say, last Sunday, the first debut tournament, a lot of people from up there were there, plenty. They came to support, as I said, 6 guys from that area up there. 6 of them. Now, let's go through the scores, guys. Today was the second round of the 6th round of matches. Let's start in Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago, 591 for 7 declared. Jason Mohammed, 157. Django, 218. The silver keeper, West Indies, 79. Goodrich took 5 for 92 for the CCC. CCC at the close, 109 for 5. Barbados, playing at the Queen's Park Oval against Trinidad and Leeward Islands, made 542.9 declared. Craig Brathwaite, 189. McCaskey, the other opening batsman who went to Australia, Brathwaite, 101. Roston Chase, 127 of 87 balls, 7 sixes and a whole set of 4s as well. Cornwall took 5 for 132. Lee was 97 for 1. Casey Carty, 64 not out. And Louis, who is the second highest run scoring tournament, 25 not out. Guyana, 424. Savory, 155. Imlach, who also went to Australia, 101 not out. Surprisingly, Moti, 56. Shields took 4 for 103 for Jamaica. The last score I saw Jamaica, with a few of us to go, 124 for 7. Brandon King made 32. And then the Windward Islands. Windward Islands batting first, 162, batted very badly. Springer made 31. Bishop took 4 for 24 for the academy team, who were bowled out for 158. Gillan Tyson took 5 for 50. And Windward's batting today are going well, a partnership between Afanas and Hodge, who were both unlucky to be given out. Windward's at the close, 165 for 7, and overall lead of 169. So Windward's really need tomorrow to get an extra 60, because the thing about it, Thompson, Leeward Islands obviously will struggle to beat Barbados. So if Windward's can win, and because the fast bowlers took 9 of the wickets, they got extra bowling points, it puts them right on top to when they play.
Right, and that's exactly what I said last week. But we need to win this game. You know, I was disappointed that but we had 2 run-outs to begin with.
But
Let's start with those
today,
run-outs.
But did you see that run-out of Pascal? I mean, he played the ball almost to the boundary. And after that, I don't know. And I didn't, to me, that was a bad cricket. He played the ball to the boundary. And I didn't know what happened there, honestly. I didn't know.
But even Pascal, when he ran out there, but no, actually, Pascal was it because of both run-outs? You know?
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. Yeah. Well, you see, a young guy play his first match, probably stress, pressure. The pressure probably got to him. Man.
But he looked good, though. He looked good. So, Ronald, all your agitation, all your pressing for him to be there was great that we agitated, because he is batting well. He batted really well. He got 26 in the first innings, and he was looking really good before he got run out today.
You know, Ronald Thompson, something that worries me. I don't know, Thompson, if you have checked the statistics of obviously the players likely to go to England this summer. And I'm watching. I'm watching. Mackenzie has batted 10 innings, scored over 220 runs. His highest score is 47. You have Shandapal, who has batted 9 innings. Although he made 100, he has only scored 258 runs in tournament. Calvin Hodge himself, 8 innings, 289 runs. Ali Afanas, 8 innings, 288 runs.
How many Afanas got today?
He's got 89. So these are worrying signs for West Indies, where the people who expect to go to England just haven't come to the party at all. And most of them, well, Imlach made 100 today, so he has 200s, so that's good. But most of the batsmen have struggled, and that is a worrying sign for a team that's going to be.
I was looking at that. In fact, I was looking at whether or not Shanda Paul could maintain his peak. But I realized when I did the calculations before these matches, this last round of matches, Shanda Paul actually had in the openers, he had the second best average so far. The best is actually Mikel Louis. By the way, he's batting now. For
26 not out.
Looking solid. He had he had 2 centuries, but in the same game, back-to-back centuries against Trinidad. But he's averaging 41.7. Shanda Paul is averaging 38.5. But then the rest of the guys, McCaskey, before his century this game, was averaging 22.
Well, he's averaging 34 now, right?
Yeah, because of the 100 now, you know. So I'm saying that, you know, as you said, it's a bit worrying, and we would expect that these guys should be dominating, you know.
Yes.
They should be dominating the play. Hodge today, for example, I thought, and I will tell you what I thought was wrong with the West Indies. With the
Windward Island, yeah.
Both he and Afanas, they allowed the spinners to get on top of them. There was
Bishop
a period where they had
particular.
successive maidens.
In fact, Thompson, Derek Bishop had bowled
in the end.
He had bowled 10 overs, right? In other words, 60 balls, and 57 of them were not scored off. 10 overs and 57 dot balls. Can you imagine? In fact, he bowled 21 overs. And Kevin was batting far too slowly today. To be honest, he made 41 in 150 balls. Just blocking. They put pressure on themselves.
I think that's what did there, because, you know, initially Afanas was batting really well. He was free flowing, but once he got into his 70s, he just buckled down. But they allowed these players to get a ball. So every single ball, I was expecting that wicket. Every ball. It's true at the end of the day, he was cheated. But it is something that had to happen because they were just too defensive towards
Take a single, you know, we have to rotate the strike
a bit.
Rotate the strike.
Rotate the strike. Little single here and there, you know, disrupt the flow, left, right hand combination, you know, but they allow the spinners to get on top, and the spinners began to believe, because if you can bowl over after over as maidens, you believe that you're going to get that wicket, and that's what happened.
But you see, Thompson, that is something which has been happening to our team, rotating the strike. We have to rotate the strike. You can't wait for a 4, or you have to take 1, take 2, take 3. You have to do that.
Simple, make the game simple, you know. And Afanas was looking untroubled. He was looking in great nick, you know. But for some reason, towards the end, they just lost the plot. I thought they had to make that rotation, and that is where I thought, you know, we begin to lose it. But as you said, Sibo, I think another 50 runs. We still have 2 good bats. And then Ting came in there, Benjamin came in there and was completely out at sea.
Well, he looked nervous. I mean, he looked very nervous.
He was just so nervous and so on.
Yes, as we come to the end, Thompson, I just want to make a quick comment there on Dominica's cricket. Something is happening in Dominica's cricket. And I'm very happy that Sibo is finding time to go to all the other 19 games. We've got a stage now where we've got 5 players on the Windward Islands team. Yeah, our guys are Pascal and Benjamin, and what we expect from Afanas and Hodge got bad decisions today. But Pascal and Benjamin, we hope they can perform. Interestingly, Tyson took 5 for 50.
You're right.
Seems to be a very, very bright prospect. So all these good things is happening with Dominica cricket. It's unfortunate that we'll not have the T20 World Cup in Dominica this year.
You know, as we talk about that, next week we need to have a discussion on that, Thompson. Because, you know, I was watching where St. Lucia made over $39 million in the economy in just over a week from the CPL last year. The news came today that Trinidad economy benefited by $55 million.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then we lose the World Cup, and you hear talk about they're going to put something in High Street in a press conference about courtesy for Roseau people. Then they'll put a football thing for Roseau people. What we need is to do things for the country. We lost a World Cup where we're going to be the country will have probably lost millions of dollars. So it's something we need to go and
repeat
discuss.
Again. You said something in Roseau. Repeat again. I didn't get that.
Wadix had a guest, and it was said that where the High Street is, the Dominica Club, right? That basketball courts are going to be built there for people, for Roseau people, it was said. Roseau. And then I have nothing against Roseau people. Roseau people deserve everything. Well, hold on, Lobby. Then they said that the grammar school where the Chinese are, a football field will be built there. It was said. That's what it was said. A full-size football field.
Just Sibo, let's face it. You're going to remove where you had lawn tennis being played. Lawn tennis being played, lawn tennis. The only place you had tennis, you're going to put basketball courts inside there?
Well, that's what it was said. Not me that said that, by the way. I have no authority to go and put basketball courts. So I'm just relaying what I heard to you. You didn't hear it, right, Lobby? You didn't hear it, right?
No, I didn't.
Yes. But quite quickly, coming back on the cricket, the team, the T20 team, they're going to
Nepal. Yeah.
Very
but
interesting.
We were discussing that off air. But the West Indies team, a lot of the players are not playing cricket. Powell is not playing, the captain of the team. He's hardly played for his team. Shea Hope is not playing. What's his name? Kyle
Azari
Mayers
is not even playing.
Kyle Mayers, by the way, Azari played 3 games and his economy rate was 12 runs per over. You remember that?
Yes,
and he only got 1 wicket, so he was dropped. Kyle Mayers, people even forget he's up there. He's not playing at all. So Sharma Joseph hasn't played. So a lot of our players are just not. Hussein, we don't know where he is.
Our captain is not playing.
He's not playing. So the West Indies, I just don't understand it.
I'm wondering if that is not deliberate. I don't want to do any conspiracy.
Well, I hope not.
We have to react and have a program for cricketers.
You have
we
to
raised
have
that
to
previously. What is the program we have for cricketers before the T20 World Cup?
And Jason Holder is currently in England playing county cricket. You know that, right?
Jason, yes, and I think Blackwood as well.
Jaden Seals is also in England, and Kima Roach. All 3 of them are in England playing red ball cricket now. Where's the World Cup in white ball cricket? So it's confusing that our players are not playing cricket and they might be going to a World Cup. Well, I guess some of them will probably be selected to go to Nepal.
To go to Nepal, but then Nepal is not Nepal. I mean, if all due respect,
Nepal is. I think they was joining in the World Cup, and then
yes, they're playing the World Cup, but at the same time, they're not competitive. I mean, the last and only time we played Nepal, we beat them by 101 runs. That's not a team that can give you the kind of rigor you want right before World Cup. If you compare that to Australia, I think Australia is playing South Africa or something. Not Nepal. And even then, it is not even the full team.
Because a lot of these guys, as you know, Thompson can't be released from the contract. The IPL, they control everything. When it's earned, it's difficult for guys to get released. When you go there, you can't get out until it's finished. Anyway, guys, there's another program coming up. So we had a very good program. Mr. G was on with us. He clarified certain things. I hope everything's put to rest. And next week, we will be back here. The Under-19 tournament will be over. Hopefully, by that time, we could be starting to celebrate a Windward Islands winning the championship because they play Windward Islands next week.
Next week, if God's willing, remember that.
But he's in charge.
I still think we stand a very good chance of winning the championship.
I think so as well. Because if Windward wins tomorrow, Leeward Islands is almost, it'll be difficult for them to beat Barbados. Windward Islands got 9 wickets from the fast bowlers, so they will get additional bowling points. So they should get past Leeward Islands after this game. They win tomorrow.
Right. And Leeward is very unlikely that they can win. They may draw, but they're not going to win that game.
Yeah. So Ambrose is still batting. Springer can be still batting.
And Springer. These are the guys who have been scoring runs in any case.
John can bat as well. So at least an extra 50 runs or more.
60 runs.
And Windward Islands should be in pole position. So on behalf of Ronald Lander, Thompson Fontaine, Doctor, and Emmanuel Loblack, Lambert Charles on the console, we want to say good night to everybody. You'll hear us again next week. Have a good night.
Yes, everyone.
Yes.
Take care.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl